So as you can see, we got a storm coming in. It just, quick one came through. Quick hitter, yeah. Dropped a little bit of rain. So I'm like, I'll go. I got my garage cleaned out, this stall over here to do the service on this, the 50-hour, nope, the 55.5-hour service on this. I was in the middle of haying. Come on, give me a break. So I'm backing up with the ROPS down, and I'm like, oh, man. They need to make these ROPS so they can bend even like further down. But no, they've got that little stop on it. So 19 millimeter, let's get this off. Hopefully it comes off easy. All right, on either side of the tractor, if you come down here, you can actually barely see from this angle. I can't get the camera any lower on this stand. Right here, on either side of the engine, there's a part of the oil pan that actually drops down around the main drive shaft there. Let me get a light. There, can you see that now? Yeah, right there, this guy. There's one on either side, and I'm assuming, I don't know, I think that is a drain plug, because they like split, yeah, it looks like they split the oil pan into two pieces. Half over here, half, so they got two drain plugs. I mean, I think, wrong size. Wrong size. Oh, I need more sizes. Can I find the right size? No. Number 18 is pretty close. Kind of sloppy, though. Yeah, that ain't right. That's too sloppy. 11/16. I think that'll do it. I think it's a number 17, actually. I bet you it's a 17. Yeah, it's about the same as the 11/16 as far as play. I'll see if I can hurt myself. Hopefully not. Oh, why do they always have to over tighten? I shouldn't be that tight. Good grief. Let's do it with a breaker. Leverage makes it easy. Make sure I'm going the right way. Was I going the right way? Oof. Did that just round off or did it loosen? It loosened. Good. Excellent. Let me go loosen the other side, then go get a drain pan. Oh, easy. Much easier. Drain pan in place. Now, it's got this cross beam here for the mower mount, I think. That oil is going to hit right on there, but I don't care. This will catch it. That's pretty black. 55.5 hours on this oil. Now, remember, this oil is a break-in type of oil. You're not supposed to leave it in there very long. It's supposed to probably turn like that. It's your break-in oil. You see that dripping in there? Oh, yeah. Let that drain out. Before we get any further, let's open this hood up. Now, a couple things. First of all, of course, you got your release right here, this black handle lever. Just push that, pull it back toward the seat. But then you've got this brush guard up front, and there is a pin on each side that you pull. Leverage. Now my hands are all oily. So there's a pin here. There we go. And you just drop that forward, and then the hood will come the rest of the way. All right. Now, we got some cleaning up to do. Whoa! Notice, can you see that? Those fan blades, see that orange looking stuff on the fan blades in there? That's just dust, gunk from out of the field and whatnot. So I'll clean those too. So let's do a walk around, I guess. Here's your air filter housing. Pop these off to get to the air filter in there. Coolant reservoir. Your radiator, of course. Pulls air from inside this side of it. You got your seal. This compartment over here is sealed with just a mesh screen. So as I was doing my mowing, this was getting filled. I kept having to clear this off. Otherwise it won't cool right. Right here is your fuel filter. So we'll make sure we're gonna replace that too. What else? Yeah, here's your radiator back there. There is another filter right here. Gosh, if you can see that. And you can see there's just covered. So I got to clear that off. You know, it's going to keep the tractor from cooling. In fact, I'd already been baling for a little while, so it doesn't surprise me. I need a camera, ladies, what I need, but it honked at me repeatedly. It scared me when it first went off because it was overheating. So you clean the screen off there, and then you've got this screen here, which this air box is in the way. Otherwise, that pulls out. You can clean that off. I'll have to show you that too. Let's go to the other side. And there are oil filters on that side. So oil fill, the orange cap, fuel filter right there. Actually, the other side, I don't know what that is. I guess it's a dual filter. Sure, right here. There's your oil filter. Right next to your dipstick is your oil filter. So let's get that off next. First of all, let's see if it's just hand tight. Of course, it's an awkward position to get your hand on it, so I'll need a tool. There we go. So, oil filter. This is the kind of, I don't have the right size other type. Let's see if I can get this in here. Of course, you got a wiring bundle right underneath of it. I mean right there too. Can I get on this easily? Probably not. Squeeze tight. No. There it goes. And if you don't have one of these filter wrenches, I got this one off the Jungle website. And it's got metal teeth almost on there, if you can see that. Grips real nice. So there. Get it so we can turn it by hand. Make sure again that our drain pan will catch the oil. Trying to stay out of your way, but that's awkward. Twist off. Now, some channels, they'll cut these open and look inside. I'm not going to do that, guys. I'm not that guy. So there you go. Make sure your rubber seal here didn't stick on the mating surface. You know, basic stuff, just like a car. And the oil's running out of there. I'm going to go take a break. I'm going to let all this just let it drain. I'm not going to get started on another job. Because this brain can only keep track of so many things, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just let this drain. It's about to start raining anyway. You wouldn't be able to hear me, which is probably a good thing. Let me get inside before it starts raining, close the garage down, let this drip. All right, little one. I got a camera lady, folks. She's right there. Like, she's about yay tall. And, but she's a pretty decent camera lady, I think. Went with the manufacturer's recommendation on this one, the Rotella T4 10W30. Didn't do any fancy synthetic stuff. Keep it basic on the engine oil, I figure. I'm not going to try to go longer than what's recommended. I'll probably end up, I know I was late on this one by a couple hours, but I'll normally be ahead of schedule, I hope. Got to anticipate when you're going to be doing things, and, you know, if you're going to be getting close during hay season, just change it beforehand, right? So we're going to take a little bit of this brand new clean engine oil, and we're going to put a film here. You guys probably already know this stuff, but you're supposed to put a little bit of oil on that seal to help keep it from sticking. Does it back up? Does that make sense? You don't want it to stick. So if you oil it first, that's generally a good idea. I'm going to set it over there, and I'm going to find my cap, back up, and I'm going to put this back on here, because I need to put the drain plugs back in, right? Where did I put the drain plugs? Did I set them on the drain thing, majig? Go ahead and squat down right low. Put the camera down here and look through the screen. No, don't look at the floor. Look over here. See me over here? Just hold it low, and you can see where my drain plug goes right there. And there's one on the other side. And I put one of them here. Where did I put the other one? I don't know. I don't know. Try not to cross thread. Can I? Here we go. And we had this draining for at least an hour. I made dinner for the girls. And, yeah, so that one's in. What did I do with the other drain plug, wee one? Oh! Did I put it on the other side? I should have done the same as what I did with that one, which is put it on. What? What about my hands? Oh, a little bit of oil. She goes, your hands. Look through the screen. Pause it. I'm going to look for this drain plug. So I was looking for the drain plug. And I had taken that side out. I had never taken this side out. It's like split in the middle. Ha-cha! So we're going to wait a minute. Does that make sense, little girl? We're just going to wait and let it drain a little bit more. All right, so we're finger tight. And we have all this oil now on this frame thing, majig, right here. Can you see that? Look at all that oil on there. So we'll clean that up a little bit. You know, my sister's, the camera's crooked. My sister's a nurse, and sometimes she'll come home with these. They're going to throw them out because they expire, I guess. I don't know. And they're really handy. So I like to use these. Let me get this out of the way now. There's our old oil. Now we're going to look at this, and we're going to see. I don't see any kind of evidence on there of any problems going on. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna wipe across the bottom, and then on the inside, just clean that off. Nice. What size did I say that was? Was it a 17? By golly, it was. Now, we're not going to go He-Man on that and over-tighten it, are we? No, we're just going to tighten it down snug. Let's go around to the other side. Ow.
Yep.
So we're just going to snug it, and that's it. All right. The next thing, remember our filter that we put the little film of oil on that seal? This one goes in sideways, okay? So I can't put much oil in there. I do like to pre-fill oil filters, but I can't put much in this one. Does that make sense? Because it just run right back out. So I'm just going to put a few glugs. Yeah, a few glugs. And then I'm going to go right on there. If I can. Can I? Yeah. And it is not dripping out, I don't think. So, got a little in there. And then we're going to hand tighten it. Again, the angle with all this stuff around it, it is kind of hard to get your hand on there. But that's nice and snug. So that's done. The next thing, and the last thing for the oil change, is going to be right here. The oil fill. You know it's oil fill because it says oil right there. And I thought I might need a funnel, but it looks like we don't. Now it calls for 2.7 liters, I think. And then I Google machined it, and 2.7 liters is like 2.8 point something, 2.8 something quarts. So I just bought 3 quarts. So we'll put 2 3/4 in, and then we'll check it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You could just wedge that right in there and let it drain for a minute. That's awesome. Exactly. My little camera lady says you don't even need to hold it. Yeah, we can get more oil out of it that way. So, that's good. You're a cute camera lady, you know that? Goofball. I don't know who's a bigger goofball, you or me? What do you think? She goes, I don't know. All right. That's probably enough on that one. All right, back up a smidge. That was like 2 smidges or 3 smidges. I love that. Now we got a little drip going here. I'm probably going a little too fast, but not bad. Huh? No, stay there.
Hands.
Yeah, this is the hand, she says. That's right. Oh, it looks so good. Brand new tractor.
Ready?
Yep. Spoiled. All right. And then the third one we're going to go down to about here. So I can't just throw this in there. All right, that looks like 3/4-ish to me. Oh, Starting to rain again, little girl. Alright, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to find my cleaner rag. And we're going to just see if we're on the dipstick there. And we're right in the middle of the safety crosshatch. But here's the deal. We need to start it. And when we start it, it's going to have a little bit of oil go into the rest of the engine. Does that make sense? It's going to find all the nooks and crannies, and it's going to drop that level. So I'm going to put a little more in. I'm going to wait a second, and I'm going to check it again. See how it came up a little bit? Now it's like 3/4 of the way up the safe crosshatch section. Double check that since it was just so quick. A little bit closer. There's barely any left in there, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and dump it in. And we're going to see. Now, I dribbled a little, but just a couple drips, really. All right, so that's 3 quarts. It called for 2.8 something something. It was like 2.84, whatever. We're just cleaning this filler cap. Make sure we don't put anything nasty back in there. But I really bet that we're going to be right on once we start it. So it should be a little high for right now. Well, look at that. It's actually right there toward the top. Let's start it. Okay. And then we'll check it again. Coils warm up. Oh, it'd be helpful if I had my foot on the brake. 1001, 1002, 1003. Should be plenty. Now we're going to let that settle for a couple of moments. Do you need to put that back on your finger? Oh, God. How did you do that? She dropped her ring off of her finger and she put it on with one hand. That's impressive. Must be loose. Is it loose? No wonder it came off. I had to take my ring off, and you can still see where it goes. Right there. I had to take it off. It's about healed up. I had a cut right there, and it looks like it's healed, so I'm ready to put that ring back on, huh? All right, let's check it. So we're going to swipe it off. Put it back in. Pull it back out. Look at that. It is... Are you too close, or... I can never tell if she's got it. She's probably got it perfect. It is halfway. Guys, it's halfway. So, let's take a look again. It could actually... It's right in the middle of the safety. When I fill oil, I usually like it toward the top end of the safety crosshatch region. So I'm actually going to see, do I have a little bit of 10W30 laying around? And I'll just put a little bit in. It doesn't have all the additives that the tractor oil does, but it'll be just enough to get it up a little higher. So since we're in the middle of the safety crosshatch area, this is 5W30 regular car oil. You don't need to zoom in. I'm just going to top off with this. And you can't stop me. You can't stop me, little lady. So we're going to check it now. And we are at about 3/4 of the way up, which I like a lot better. But we're going to top it off. Almost. I don't want it all the way at the top, if I can help it, because of thermal expansion, which shouldn't matter much, but we want it close, but not quite to the top. Being a brand new engine and all, it shouldn't burn much oil. Look at that. We're right there, about like 7/8 to the top of the safe zone. Perfect, she says. I agree. And go backwards sometimes to get it click in. Don't cross thread it. There we go. Oil change complete. Thanks, little lady. I'm done for tonight. We're going to come back out and we'll do the front gear oil later, and the hydraulic fluid too. Bye for now. So we got the oil change done yesterday. Now we are going to shift our attention to the air cleaner and the screen for the radiator. I'm going to pull out here in just a second. There is a nut. You can see it right there. A bolt that goes to this nut backer, whatever they call it. Is that a 12? No. Is it a 10? Maybe. Let's just see. My 10 is out in my field somewhere. So let's see if it's a number 10. It is. I'm shocked. That's a joke. I'm not actually shocked. These foreign jobs, you know, they like number 10s and number 12s. Anyway, so you're going to go ahead and remove this right here. And what that's going to allow you to do is to pull this out somehow. I would think, oh, just like that. Just pull that right up. There we go. So now that that is out of the way, we can pull this up and out of the way. Just push it off to the side there. And then over here, right here, you pull this screen right up out of there. Ew. And see, I grabbed that by hand. And then we can take some kind of an air blower. Attic. No, not back in here. Stay out there. Anyway, you get the idea. Pretty filthy for just 55 hours, but we were making hay. And that does have a tendency to make a little bit of dust. So then when you just slide that back down in there, and we can reposition this and this. Or can I? Of course I can. Piece of cake. And then your air cleaner. Cover pops off. And your filter comes out. And it looks pretty clean because it's pre-filtered air. So I don't see. You can kind of see the light coming through the paper filter there. It looks good. Looks good. Now, what I was surprised to see was this. I mean, I open the hood and I look, and this little dust thing is just mangled. I don't know how that happened. I have not been in here much at all. So I don't know if... I mean, goodness gracious. If anybody else had that issue with a brand new tractor, let me know. So I might have to get this new piece. This just comes off. It's just rubber. It's see if I can find one on the interwebs. Anyway, put this back on here. This is the same style that'd be like on a Gator too. Remember, we used to have to clean those out all the time. Good grief, what am I hitting here? When I was overseas, we had Gators for the flight line, which was kind of fun. And it was just a fast way to get around on the airbase. Are you watching what I'm doing at all? Oh, okay, cool. So that's done. What's next? Probably what?
Your tractor.
Yeah, it's my tractor. It's brand new. So the next thing I'm going to do is the front end. But I promised you'd just be out here for a few minutes. So that's it. Thanks, camera lady, number whatever you are. Second born. Why? She gave me a dirty look. I don't know what number camera lady you are. I guess like mom would be number 1. Firstborn would be number 2. You'd be number 3. I guess camera number 3. Sure. All right, coming back at it. And we're going to do the front end service on this front axle. First thing you want to do is correct that. Now, I actually checked this, and it was low. So when it's brand new, check it. Don't trust that it's filled properly from the factory. And then you're going to come around. Either side will do. I just happen to have my creeper over here, so let's get on the creeper. And underneath, first off, take note, we got a grease zerk here for where the front end pivots. And right there with the yellow, takes a number 14. Get your drain pan in place. Ugh. Can't actually get. Sometimes you can't use your creeper, you know what I mean? Let's see how easy this is to remove here. Let me get my strong hand. That's pulling with all my strength, and I can't bust it. So we're gonna have to go get a breaker. All right, what did I say? A 14. A little bit more leverage, a little bigger tool here. Can we get it now? Oh, kidding. Gotta be, right? Gotta be a joke. Why? Okay, so I'm a little more stable now with the camera. I just got it sitting on the floor, and I was finally able, I had to get the paint off of this thing, but able to get it to turn. It took about all my strength. So needless to say, I think they may have applied more force than necessary. Just going out on a limb there. All right, so let that main drain. Smells like gear oil. We're on the right side, and it's a 12, but we saw how that worked in the last one there, not so well. So we're gonna go straight to a crescent wrench for extra leverage. Now let's see. Yeah, starting to go. If I can get in there, this knuckle is kind of in the way. Just like my head's probably in your way. There we go. All right, we're getting it now. And I tell you, I love making custom little funnels and stuff out of old quart containers. In this case, we got it sized just to fit right in there. Hopefully catch most of it. It's too lazy to move the lift out of the way before I brought the tractor in. And it was raining and just wanted to get it in. Still a bit tight. There we go. Oh, you're supposed to open this too, but this is open way up here. I guess I could. This is a vent. We can pop that open too. You're supposed to. Basically, on the front end, anything with a yellow is supposed to get opened up to do the surface. Service. There we go. And we'll do this same thing on the other side. I won't put it on camera, though. That's silly. It's the same thing. It's nice you don't have to remove the wheel for any of this. That may be a little, maybe slightly easier access, but... Oh, good grief. I can turn it a little and then it gets hard again. There we go. All right. There you go. Vent open. Whoa! Vent has some fluid in it, didn't it? Okay. Vent wasn't just a vent. Well, I gotta sit here for a second. I wasn't prepared for that. There is a little bit of sparkle. And of course, that's why they want you to do this first service at only 50 hours. Because that initial break-in period, you might see a little bit of sparkle in there. I'm not seeing like an excessive amount. I'm not an expert, but I do know you shouldn't be scared if you see a little bit. Now, if you see a lot, you might bring a sample in and be like, is this normal? All right. A little bit in there. Now let's take this one out the rest of the way. I just got oil dripping from everywhere. Everywhere. And I totally missed. Good thing I got a rag down because that totally got it all. Holy mackerel, and that is a mess. I got the shorter one. Heavens. Y'all don't do what I do. Get your lift out of the way so you can put an actual drain pan under there. Good grief. You know, I could film that side and, you know, do better. But I think some of y'all might like to see that other people make mistakes too. And you're smarter than a lot of people on the internet. Ugh. Yeah. That's just lovely, isn't it? I'm sure there's procedures written down somewhere that I'm not looking at. This lift in my way is highly inconvenient. But it's too late now. I ain't moving it. And you can't make me. Definitely needed a change. All right, that's good enough for my purposes. I mean, you're never going to get all of it out. That is good enough. I'm going to try to, on the next one, you know, I think it's a 200 hour before the next one, or probably longer than that on this, but come in ahead since I was a little late on this one, a few hours. All right, that's on. Let's tighten it back down. So I'll probably put this as the main video, but I don't know, I might put what happened on the other side, like a blooper reel at the end of the video or something, you know. That might be fun, just to show you that, I mean, if you ever watch any of my videos, you know I make mistakes all the time and do silly, dumb things. Don't we all, though? Don't answer that. I want to think everybody does. Make me feel better. I'm going to close the vent, y'all. Or, I don't know. I guess I could leave it open. Wait for it to start coming out. I don't know how that works. You know, it flows down in here and then fills up. Sure. And that's fine. Just fine. Let's go fill it. So this calls for 80 W90 gear oil. I went with this Mystic 77590, you know, full synthetic, extended range gear lubricant. I'll still follow the timelines, but then I came home and I'm like, oh, I still have some of this. Full synthetic, same weight. Oh gosh, and what in the world? I got some of the Walmart varieties, same stuff. They're all full synthetic, same weight. They're all GL5, or does it say? Yeah, right there. GL5 high performance. So they'll be good. I'm going to go ahead and burn up these two older ones that aren't that old, okay? I mean, I'm not going crazy here, but get them used up, and I can return the ones that I don't need. That would be really nice. Will that one fit? Yeah. Let me wipe out the oil. Check that out. I'm telling you, I love making custom funnels. Look how good that works. Just out of my engine oil quart. So now I don't need to use the silly squirt end on this. And this being a 75 weight when cold, you know, it'll be better in cold weather. We get some of that here. And being a synthetic, it still gives you adequate protection. All right, down the hatch with the whatever brand this was. And I think it said it takes like 5 quarts. So we'll see about that. Redline synthetic oil. And this one's actually a 75W85. This was a 7590. And these are 7590. So we're in the ballpark, folks. That's the clearest out of the bunch. Will it support it? Look at that. I love that funnel. You guys need to make one of these for your tractor. Yeah. All right. This might, question mark, be the last one. I'm keeping an eye on my vent here. See if we start running out. But the two that were older weren't full. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go get another one because it's not running out yet. So it looks like we're going to need probably just one more. Should be getting awfully close. Said 5 quarts. This is 4 of the new ones, and then whatever was left in there. And I would have thought between the two that had to have been a quart. So I'm gonna check, see how much more I need here. Oh, I'm way up to the top. So see, that's going to have to go in there though. So I'm going to go ahead and close these vents. And here's what I'm thinking. It'll be overfilled in here obviously right now, but as I pull it out of here, the fluid will go into there. Does that make sense? Because you saw I took the vent off and fluid was coming out of there. So maybe I'll leave the vents just a little loose. I don't know. Because air's got to be able to get out. I would feel more comfortable with this being cracked open. We'll leave them both cracked. How's that sound? Terrible? Perfect. All right. Well, that's should be enough fluid. Probably just over 5 quarts, to be honest. Got all these caps back on all these bottles. I believe I used just a little more than what they were calling for, but it wasn't coming out the vents here. So I think to get it to go in there, we'll need to drive it a little. Stands to reason in my mind. I certainly wouldn't think they'd want you to put it directly in there. That system should go all the way across, right? Y'all, on these big purchases, read the manual. Don't be like me, living life on the wild side, or just dumb. Yeah, just dumb. That's okay. We'll see what happens. What happens if you don't do the right thing? We shall see. Come on, lift. Slide, dang it. It says I'm slid enough. That's good enough. Roll it forward a little bit. Maybe roll it back a little bit, huh? Maybe go a lot forward. Whoa! I'm watching those vents. I don't see anything coming out. Oh wait, I don't have the four-wheel drive on. That ain't gonna do much. I don't know, do they still spin? It just doesn't send power? I'm not sure. There, we did that with the four-wheel drive on. Let's see now. So we're going to check the dipstick and see if it went down at all. Because it was very full. It's still very full. Like the filler neck on the actual axle, it's at the bottom of that filler neck, the threaded portion. Which let's just see what happens if I take this vent cap off here. If some comes out, I'll be happy, but it doesn't. It doesn't come out. So I'm going to go ahead and make the logical assumption that the pointy bottle needs to go in there to add fluid directly to the hub. I need to be putting it straight in there. I just cut the top off of this. I'm going to get a little suction. I'm going to take some of this fluid, if I can, out of here. Can I? Oh, it's trying. It's just not quite long enough to get in there, I don't think. Can I get some? Oh, I think I got a little. It'll be a little ridiculous doing it this way. Because see, I can't tip enough. There we go. End up bending it. Well, there. Hey, am I running out now? It's not quite big enough for me to like dip my finger in there, though. You know, that's not irritating at all. That's still running out. So it is full. All right. Confirmed. And now I've got a little bit of drips on my driveway and grit on that. Wonderful. Make sure we clean that off. That sooner, though, rather than later. All right, I'm going to tighten these two vents up and we're done. See you later. Wait, we got another job to do, so I'll see you real soon, just on the same video. Ouch. All right. I've got the front up on ramps that I totally trust, because if they fail, I get crushed. I mean, I've had heavier things on them, right? Right here, yellow, marking the spot, is our main hydraulic drain. The main drain. What was that on? SpongeBob, the main drain? That was a hilarious episode, if I'm remembering right. Can I get this one off? I'm on a creeper, so I'm just pushing myself here. Maybe pull. Would it be easier to pull? I'll just pull myself over. I might have to get off this. I don't want to be on the ground because it's hot. The sun was beating out all day. All right, how about this method? Ugh. Obviously not as strong as like Spider-Man or whoever it was that did this. Oh, all right. I give up. Breaker bar is. Once again, they clearly like to over torque things. Get a little crazy. So drain here. The fill is straight up under the driver's seat. So that'll be fun. And your filter is right here, which looks like I will be able to get the old one out and the new one in just barely. Because we do have this drive shaft right here directly under it, plus the brake controls. Yeah. So let me go get a bigger bar. All right, which one are you? Probably a metric, because everything pretty much has been. 15/16 is awfully loose. But the 7/8 I don't think wanted to slide over it. Oh, wait, it does. Oh, good. So your hydraulic oil is a 7/8. And if it doesn't go at first, it's just the thickness of the paint, y'all. That's all it is. You can jiggle it on there. And now that I've got my big old breaker, this should be much easier, right? Right? Good grief. So, can it? There it goes. Heaven have mercy. Good grief. I mean, that's all the drain plugs today have been quite tight. All right. Okay, we're getting kind of close. Let me go make sure I get my drain pans lined up. So now we're expecting, the internet has got conflicting information. Of course, I'm sure the manuals is better, but so we're wondering then, is it 3.7 or up to 5 gallons of fluid in here? So I'm gonna have, I've got 2 drain pans lined up and ready to go. Of course, they can't both fit in here at the same time, so we'll go the smaller one right here. How's that sound? Oh, look, it's still tight. All right. And this will probably glug like crazy because I didn't open anything up. I didn't open the vent up top or the fill. So here we go. Nope. It comes out nice. Now I'm ready to plug it because this only fills so fast and it's slowly coming up. Let me give this a minute to catch up. It's going down. And the hydraulic fluid is kind of nice. I ran it just briefly, and so it's warm. Well, not really. That's okay. I'll show you here. I've got some metal on the magnet. See that? But that's what this is for. Again, this is a break-in period. I suppose you'd expect to see some on there, and that's what this is for. Get rid of a good amount of that. Well, it's slowing down, and this took it. I don't know, what is this? A 15 plus liter capacity, 16 quarts. Well, 16 quarts is 4 gallons. So what's coming out of here is less than 4 gallons. There you have it. All right, I'm gonna let that drain actually. And I do have the front end up slightly, so there's going to be a little bit left in here. If you were thinking that, that's a valid point. Not all that much though. I suppose. I mean, I don't want to start it now and do anything, but I could put it in neutral and probably push it off of here to get a little bit more out. If I were really worried about it, I'm not really worried about it. We're getting the vast majority out. I do like that they have a magnet on there. I think that's pretty sweet. Let that drain out for a minute. All right. That's what's left in there. Pretty darn clean. So I'm going to go ahead and call it good. And we are going to tighten this, but we are not going to go, prepare yourself for language, folks. We're not going to go batshit crazy. No, siree. All right. I think that will be just fine. All right. Oh, I need to do the filter now. And I'm 100% sure I won't be able to spin that off by hand. But I'm going to do the thing that you have to do. You got to try. Nope, that ain't happening. So the audio down here, the audio didn't work when I was recording. But there you go.
That's it. That's it.
All right. So went to Rural King. And I showed you the jiggle and the one we're replacing. This one's white from TYM. And I got a camera lady with me so she can actually show you where it goes. Let me grab my my creeper. The creeper goes on the creeper, right, Mama?
Yeah.
Yeah. And notice when she got in late last night, she parked right where, if that were to have given, I think it would have scratched your front end a little bit there, babe.
Well, it was like 12:30
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. So back under here, and I guess I can do that real quick just to show them where it is.
Maybe.
I got the rag here, right there. That's where the filter screws in, right there. If you can see that, right there. All right, there you go. Thank you. What?
It's hot.
What's hot?
My butt.
Oh, yeah, your butt's hot. Mm-hmm.
On the ground.
Oh gosh, I need a little bit of oil to put on this seal. Is there some I could grab? Yeah. All right. Man, whoa! It just fell right off of there. Oh my goodness! Now it's gonna have grit all over it. Daggone it! That seal just fell right off.
Well, you greased it up too much.
No, like usually they're like naturally stuck on there, you know, and that one just fell right out. Are you look? Your camera's crooked, baby.
Not.
The camera lady says her camera is not crooked, but I'm looking right at it. All right, so we're gonna try that again.
Just don't shake it.
No, I just can't turn it over. Yeah. So I brought it in to the guys at Rural King, and I said, I've never seen this before. And they said, I've never seen that before. I'm like, all right, we're in agreement. We've never seen it before.
So you gotta give them your numbers off your stuff.
Yeah. And why is this not wanting? This isn't the right one.
First one wasn't right. Second one.
I don't think this is the right one either. You've got to be kidding me.
Round 3.
Please say I just didn't get it squared up. I mean, how many filters for these different tractors? It's acting like it's not the right one. It'd be right up against this brake control. And that rubber just came off of there again. Good grief. Yeah, the threads look finer on this than that. I can't believe this. What are the odds?
1 in a million.
This is the filter that the internet told me should go on here. The one they had was what their paperwork said should go on there. Neither one
In the manual,
right.
it doesn't say?
Huh?
In the manual, it doesn't say?
Yeah, it does. What? Well, you can stop the video. This is nuts. Actually, here. I'll do this
It
part.
started. Ooh.
What?
You already got a nice spider web in the phone.
Yeah.
Wasn't me.
Yeah. All right, we got the right one on, y'all. 4100 is the part number on this guy, but it actually fits. So I'm not going to take it down and show you me put it up. Pretty straightforward. So we've got our plug back in. We got the filter back in. Time to go up top and figure out how to fill this. Because as you can see the yellow lid there, Ed, underneath the seat. That's our fill. And it's under the seat. I mean, so here's the plan. I've been thinking. Remember that old hose you left out here I've used a couple times?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're going to use that. And we got our 4 gallons of hydraulic fluid ready to go. Just need my universal tool here. Will this be the first thing to open easily? I sure hope so. I probably could have done that by hand. That was just so easy. Let me tighten that back down a little bit, because I saw a little dust around there. My handy dandy. There we go. Try not to get a bunch of gunk in there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we got a little dipstick, question mark? No, I guess, I don't know. All right. And I'm thinking, like, could I, oh, it's too small. Maybe, nope.
Well, I need to hold it.
Nope. I'm trying to find a spot to like wedge it in.
How about like right here?
Well, that's what I was thinking, but it's too small.
Just like that.
Oh, you're gonna hold it for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got 2 hands still, thankfully.
For now?
For now, yeah.
What, you got plans?
Well, you know, we're got all the parts for a clutch job.
Oh yeah. You think you're gonna lose a hand doing a clutch job?
Never know.
All right. So hopefully we don't. That should go in there just fine. Any leaks?
Success. Not yet.
Kind of slow, but that's okay. I got all night, right?
I want to watch some Voyager.
Yeah.
1 episode, then I got to go because I'm tired. I woke up early.
Yeah. Sis was in Africa for 8 weeks.
Yep.
So she didn't get to watch any Voyager. And then she came back and watched, what, 1 episode or 2 before you...
No, I think it was at least 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
We had a week.
Before you went to Florida for a quick vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why everybody goes to Florida for vacation.
I'm regretting the location I chose.
Oh, yeah? What was wrong?
Not as walkable as
Oh, yeah.
I thought that it was going to be. I wanted it to be walkable from where we were to some coffee shops and have just, you know, not have to drive everywhere.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we pretty much had to drive everywhere, which is not what I wanted. So.
All right, folks, we are going to just keep filling. I have maybe a quart in so far. And we've got a lot to go because I think it said like 3.7. Oh, other folks were saying upwards of 5 gallons. And that makes sense because if you were to actually evacuate all of the hoses and cylinders for all the hydraulics, you know, the front end loader, the 3-point, if you, I guess maybe that'd give you some more, right? So I'm counting on it being closer to the 3.7 since I'm not like, you know, draining all that. Anyway, see you in a bit. All right, sis has been holding it for me. That took us probably, what, 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, 15.
Something like that. And I'm looking at this sight glass that you can barely see in between the corner of the PTO guard and my PTO slip clutch. So it's not easy to see, is what I'm saying. It's kind of tough. I think it's close to the middle of the sight glass, but I put every bit of 4 gallons in there. So sister's getting her hands all dirty, and like there's a rag right here. She's wiping herself on her. What are those? What are you wearing? Are they like pajama bottoms? They've got volcanoes on them, folks.
Maybe.
Palm trees and volcanoes. You think you're on vacation still?
It's Hawaiian themed. I love Hawaii.
All right, so the 50 hour, I'd have to look again. I don't think it says anything about the fuel filter, but the separator here, I actually can see, looks like there's some debris in there too. So I'm just going to take this off, dump it out, and then pretend that everything will be all right as far as repriming, because that sounds like the right thing to do. I've got an on-off switch here, so we're going to turn that to off so we don't lose a whole bunch more. This is my quart to try to maybe catch all our stuff. We're on blacktop, folks, and diesel fuel and blacktop, I don't know if you knew this, they don't get along very well. Of course, I got hoses all up in here.
Melto.
Yeah, it dissolves the asphalt.
So do you have something under there?
Nope. This driveway is not in the best shape anyway. Can I get this going with that hose there? I don't want to remove this hose, folks, but do you need 2 hands on that camera? You're shaking an awful lot, camera lady. Did you have too much caffeine today?
I had 1 cup of coffee.
Oh, man. See, I'm just like pinching it and then...
I think you're tightening it.
Oh, I am.
Just saying.
You could have said that sooner.
Whoa!
You know, she assumes I know what I'm doing a little too much. Yeah, I'm definitely tightening that. Let's try to go the right way. Now I've got it extra tight. Oh man, how am I gonna, let's get this out of the way.
Why don't you put your little filter one on there? It'd be a lot better.
You think it'll work on there?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of small. I guess it might adjust that small.
Your rubber kind?
No, I don't have a rubber kind.
Oh, whatever happened to that thing?
I don't know, it broke. It's a rubber strap. This one might, yeah, this will work. Oil filter wrench, this will work. What do you bet? We're going to cut all that out. This might not. See, because they pin it in here. They probably want you to buy a special tool. Let's see. Don't go the wrong way again. There we go. It's going. Good collar, sis. Nice catch. Because I probably would have kept on tightening it until I realized, and that'd be too late.
It's because you do too much talking.
That's true. I do talk a little bit now and then. Just a little bit, you know, not too much. Just a little bit of... Okay. tool marks are good for everything, right?
Mm-hmm. It'll be a reminder not to screw it on or unscrew it the wrong way. Mm-hmm.
All right. See if this just drops off. Yep, just dropped right off. Look at that. That's nice. And I'm glad you put the rag there because a couple of drips are going to miss. Now, does this just plop out? Sure does. A few drips on the driveway. And there's some stuff in there, it looks like. Oh, look. See, like, for example, that was inside there. That's what I was seeing.
Mm.
Yep. So we're going to rinse this off, and then we're just going to put it right back together. So, it says found it. She goes, it's in your makeshift container thing. There we go. So, let's try this again. Righty tighty.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just get it snug, right? There's a O-ring in there that looked undamaged, so make sure you check that before you put this back on.
That'll do it.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's turn this over. Make sure it refills this when I crank it.
I'm gonna turn it on.
Hold on.
Your valve.
Look at the little piece of red plastic. See how it's cattywampus?
Oh.
I don't know where exactly that was supposed to go, but I don't think it's supposed to look like that. Do you? I wouldn't think so.
Maybe we should turn this off and watch the video of how it looked before.
Sure, go ahead. Video evidence sure is nice, but then when you look again, it makes sense. See in the bottom there?
Mm-hmm.
That is to hold your spring in place, kind of, sort of. And then this, does this face down then? No, it'd have to go up.
The rubber goes in.
The red goes there? That doesn't make sense.
Because it floats up.
Oh, you think?
Mm-hmm. That's what it looked like.
So it's maybe there to show you the separation between oil and water?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think?
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, look at that. And that rubber seal is just going to make a nice seal there. Not just here, but on the little filter element too. And that might make sense to me. I'm just trying to think like a science person. The water is more dense than the diesel, so it'll be at the bottom. And then I wonder if the plastic density would float in between the water and the diesel to show you if there's a certain amount of water in there that needs to be dumped out. Yeah. Why'd you go, We all
things that make
like
you go,
Oh, things that make you go, Yeah, okay. Oh, what was the Ron White? You know the comedian Ron White?
Yeah.
Blue Collar Tour?
Yes.
He was describing somebody that was less than super attractive, I guess, to him. And he was like, things that make you go, Oh, that was a pretty good one. All right.
Over torque.
Yeah, it doesn't want to go any further, so I'm not going to make it.
Marks.
Yeah, my tool marks.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, so now let's see if when we turn this,
turn it on.
It'll fill that back up for us.
Nozzle.
Oh yeah. Kind of. I mean, it wouldn't do it then.
No, it would not.
Do I have my key? I don't even have my key. Let me go get my key. Oh,
Live.
Let me make sure. The audio wasn't working last time, so yes, we've got green. I'm running through my head. Oil change, front end, hydraulic, everything is back on, safe to start.
Are you sure?
If you see oil spilling out from underneath, we'll know. I better get in position to look. I mean, you're supposed to check for leaks when you're done with the oil change and the hydraulic fluid change anyway, so... but I want you focusing on that, what we just did, the diesel pre-filter water separator thing. Let's see if it fills the bag up. How quickly did it fill?
It's still filling.
Oh, nice.
And it's halfway.
Is it still filling now?
Nope. Still going, still going. Just a little bit.
Good?
Yep.
My biggest worry, I don't know how all this stuff works, is like it'd be sucking air and then you'd have the engine quit, but it's not. So sometimes it's better to be lucky than smart or good, or however that expression goes. All right. We are done with everything now except for greasing all the fittings on this tractor. And if you come around, you can see the fuel filter on this side is way cleaner than, she's going through the forks in the van, the narrow passage.
I can still do it, even though I'm...
So if you take a look here, this is the main fuel filter. If I scrape all this gunk off the outside, I don't see anything in there.
That's pretty good.
So that pre-filter water separator thing's doing a good job. This will be for the next time. I think at 200 hour this gets done. Okay, so fittings to go. Star Trek Voyager time?
What time is it?
It's like almost 8:30. You can watch one.
No.
Are you kidding? Are you that old?
Yes.
She's only a couple years older than I am, folks. You can't stay up till 10. Come on now.
No, it's late, man. Got to bed at midnight last night and got up at 7.
Well, I didn't make you get up that early. Well, I guess I did get up that early.
My old person body did.
All right. Well, let's close this down. Another one of the tasks checked off the list.
Yay.
One to go, and then we'll be back in business. I have hay over there to mow, rake, and bale. And I've got, I'm telling you, maybe just a little more dirt work here. You can see the step down. Just leave it alone. Good grief. There's probably 6 inches here, only maybe 4 over here. I'm going to drop it a couple more inches so that, because look, we're going to have gravel for now, but if I can afford it in a year or two, I'd like to do concrete all the way around the back of the garage. It would be nice. So we'll be skimming a little bit more, a couple more inches off of this clay here. All right. All right, last thing on our list is to hit all the grease zerks. So we're gonna see if we can find them without using the manual, and then we'll go back and check the manual, see if we missed any. So I'm gonna start with loader actually, and I'm just gonna put a little, full disclosure, I did hit these grease zerks already. But that was probably at like the 35-hour mark. And these, each one I'll probably just put a pump or two. Whenever you're greasing, you can hear that. Once you hear that like snap, crackle, pop with the grease coming out, you know you're good. Or obviously if you can see it. Let me put the mic up by it for you. I don't know if you could hear that. Let me get the other side. All right, loader is done. Now I'm going to start from the front and work my way toward the back underneath. Oh. And the very first one is right here at the front axle pivot point. And I already put a couple pumps of grease in here, so. Oh, that one is tight. Probably because, you know, it's still got pressure on it. Put a couple pumps of grease in there. There is one right here at the front of the drive shaft. Oh my, that's tight. That one doesn't really want to take the grease too easy. Oh my heavens. That one's not taking grease. For whatever reason, I don't know. That one don't want it. It's not optional. you have to have the grease. Let's try this one. Shouldn't make any difference, but oh my. This is a hand squeeze, and it's not getting in there any easier on this one. Huh. Well, I will put a mental note on that, and if I can't get that one to take grease now, I'll try again, and then if it still don't, I'll have to take the grease zerk out and just make sure everything's all right in there. Okay. Next grease zerk, where are we? Nothing else on the axle. Up here. Nothing here. At least from the downside. I've got one on my brake controls here. Got one right on the end of that. Whoop. There it goes. And that should be one on the other side, I would think. On this side, it is not on the end. It's, well, toward the other end. So you got two, one on each side for that brake control. All right, a bit of grease there. Good. Now we start getting in cramped territory here. I'm not seeing any more over here. Some places, you know, that you're looking at, you say, well, that's a pivot point or that's a movement point. Well, okay, grab a little piece of grease and just put it there. You know, even if there's not a zerk, doesn't mean it couldn't use a little lubricant. So Any spots you see like that, just throw a little grease on it. I don't see anything on this side. Let's move over here again. Nothing I can see from down here. I'm gonna take my hat off. I'll try to yell at you. Nothing else from underneath, which is good because you don't always want to be on a creeper. So I think most of those you'd be able to get pretty easy, just, you know, crouching down. Excellent. Now, my old John Deere had one on top of each rear axle. I wonder if this one does. I don't see it. Nope. And it wasn't underneath. That one also had a grease zerk on the 3-point adjuster. This also does not. So, you know, throw a little grease on those threads where you adjust it up and down there. Same goes for this top link. I've been seeing a lot of people replacing this top link with a hydraulic piece. That's cool. I don't think I will. I do use mine to adjust the pitch back here for different implements, but I don't know. It works just fine. Maybe I'll justify the expense later. Guys, I'm not seeing any other grease zerks. Now, again, I'll, for some toilet reading perhaps, look at the manual for other grease points, and I didn't see any other hood or anything, so that's it. Double check the grease zerks, because there might be one or two that I missed, or 10, who knows. But yeah. Now, I haven't had time. I mean, I just got this thing, 55-hour service here, to do many mods or put many accessories on. But there is one that was absolutely vital to my success on haymaking. My mower, my drum mower, absolutely had to have this slip clutch, this PTO slip clutch. So I bought that for, I think, $60 used on Amazon, adjusted it, and I wasn't breaking shear bolts anymore. So I couldn't turn the PTO on that drum mower without it breaking shear bolts. The tractor tries to get up to speed on the PTO, even with it on low idle. Everybody was like, you gotta put it on low idle. What else would I be doing? I always start stuff up on low idle. So this did the trick. So that's just gonna be there now. So it does block your view of the sight glass a little bit. You can kind of, off to the side, you can barely see. But yeah, definitely recommend one of these. Makes it more gentle on your equipment, and it's like a second safety, you know, between the tractor and the implement and whatever might be getting in their way, causing shear bolts to break or whatnot. I had a neighbor that had a broken PTO shaft inside the tractor because somebody was using his bush hog, borrowing the tractor to go bush hog, whichever, I don't remember. and it broke off. So it's just an extra line of protection. Well, that's it. Service complete. Again, we did the oil change. We did the front axle drain and lube. We did the hydraulic fluid drain, new filter, which was kind of interesting, and refill that. Took 4 gallons. 4 gallons of hydraulic fluid. It took, I put all 3 quarts of oil in it to get it to where it needed to be. And then we greased everything. So I don't think I missed anything there. It could use a wash already. It started to rain a little bit. You can see still a lot of dirt on the hood, so it didn't rain much. Couple drip drips, that's it. Air filter, yeah, clean that out too. Our screens, we cleaned all the screens, blew them out. And otherwise, that's it, folks. We're going to use this some more, and then we'll do, I don't know, review right now seems a little premature. I mean, we're at 50 hours, sure, 55, but so far so good. I haven't had a lick of problem out of it. It's super stable on our hills. We have some pretty decent hills around here, and this makes me feel pretty safe on those. That 4-wheel drive is nice. So that's it for now. See you all later.